Well, no, a lot of numbers are being thrown around out there, including now the unemployment rate, folks, being possibly as high as 20%. The nation has never seen anything like that. And we'll probably never see a recovery like the one we've got coming up. We've never seen one like that either. According to the Bank of America survey of these investors, these big-time money managers, more than half think we're going to have what they call a U-shaped path out of recession. I'm going to bring in the NABE president and KPMG's chief economist, one of my favorite economists, Constance Hunter. Constance, first, it's great having you on a show. I want to ask you initially about this because there's been a lot of debate over the U-shape, which is a gradual recovery, a V-shape, which means obviously pretty sharp and quick, a W-shape, which is a double recession, and then the dreaded L-shape, which is a long, drawn-out, severe recession. Where do you come down on this?
So based on our assumption that we will more or less be able to resume economic activity by June 15th, we're looking at more of a U-shape. But let me first explain something about the way GDP statistics are reported. So what we tend to look at is the quarter over quarter seasonally annualized rate. And so basically, if you think about it, a shorthand way to think about it is if you took the quarter over quarter and multiplied by 4. And that's why you see this big, huge decline and then a big, huge bounce back. So if we look at it more on a year over year basis, we're looking year over year for GDP to fall about 8% for 2 quarters, then falling about 4%, then 3%, and then slowly rebounding in the second half of 2021. So on a seasonally adjusted annualized rate basis, we get a big drop and then a big increase. But in terms of the level, we don't get back to the level we're at now until 2022. And those are really important distinctions to think about.
But we do get a sharp bounce off the lows, and then the idea of getting back to where we were, because I felt that the NABE, the association that you're president of right now, I thought you guys were really a little negative going into last year, but then you started to get a little bit more optimistic about this economy. Did we have enough momentum, particularly in January, February, and even early March, that maybe we can rekindle some of that once we are back and running as a nation?
Well, yes, certainly having come into this stronger is helpful because households have more savings, businesses have more cash on hand. But right now, it's like we're jumping off the cliff without a bungee cord, right? We are in a real severe free fall. We're looking at having 25 million people claim unemployment in April, so jobless claims are high. We're looking at an 18% unemployment rate. So a really, really severe situation. And the problem is, instead of keeping people attached to their jobs and paying firms to directly keep people employed, what we did instead was we let firms lay people off and then retroactively apply for assistance. And once people get separated from their jobs, it becomes that much harder to restart the economy.
Right. Especially now, I think, with some of these incentives not to work being pretty, there's a lot of extra money. So a lot of people are making more money being unemployed right now. Real quick, Constance, because we had a couple of breaking news events, so we don't have as much time, but I do want to get your, again, the Federal Reserve, just moments ago, they spoke, New York Fed Williams, suggesting that the Federal Reserve is going to do more. You talk about assistance, whether it's from the federal government or Federal Reserve. How much more do you think we need to at least get the best case outcome?
So I think we need, a couple $100 billion more and really see it targeted to small and medium-sized businesses. Firms with under 50 people make up about 50% of our employment. And those firms tend to have fewer than 20 days cash flow on hand. So for these firms, making sure they can stay open and keep their people employed is really, really important for us to push that restart button.
Constance Hunter, it's always great seeing you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.